women are in India and globally staying longer in education than men. This has changed just in the last 15 years. So also they can better see, sorry, thanks to much enabling state policy, I can only talk about India, both at the state level and at the union government level, there has been tremendous enabling policy for women. The self-help groups are just one of many, many examples. So I think in that sense, a woman who can bring economic dignity to her home automatically has a better voice. There are some exceptions, but so we do want the economic empowerment that Chris was also talking about, and which is one of their big flagship programs at the Gates Foundation. I just want to say one thing more here, that we know, as Sumant also just said, that 1 in 10 entrepreneurs usually succeed. We don't want with this program to set up 9 to fail without some kind of safety net. In the West, the free markets, they talk about free markets, but they have tremendous safety nets for their entrepreneurs. How can you imagine? So if I'm a young entrepreneur, say coming into the renewable energy sector, and I want to bring money into the family, I want dignity, I may fail the first time. How will I have the courage to go to the second time like other entrepreneurial societies do? It's because there's a societal and a state safety net that you can rely on. So I think designing that safety net so that the 9 who may not succeed will be tempted to either go back or find, because of their experience, an opportunity maybe to get a job with the 10th successful entrepreneur. Because you need to see that upward mobility pathway, whether it's a woman or a man. So just a small caution on this, that in addition to one family, one entrepreneur, we need to define the safety nets so that, yes, there is risk appetite, but you don't have to take unnecessary risk, which will completely drop you off the deep end.
Yeah. Mr. Anurad, final question to you before I come back to the Chief Minister. Regulatory frameworks also need to move to ensure that what we are talking about is a real enabler. And I'll give you a small example. I have a very, very small little business of my own, which my wife and I run in our part-time. It's in one of our hill states. And then we've come across regulation in that hill state which says that if you aren't a resident of that hill state, then you can't have this particular type of business. Despite the fact that I actually employ 2 or 3 people. And that really hurts. A small-time business person like me, I mean, it's not my primary job. But therefore, the question to you, I think, is important, that frameworks need to be the ultimate enablers. So if we're talking about grassroots and Andhra Pradesh, and perhaps India at a larger level, what's missing?
Yeah. So if you look at the ingredients, there are several ingredients, but there is identity and trust. There is the ability to start and run a business, the ability to make secure payments and get credit. All of these are trust-building frameworks. Right now, even I looked at the various states in Australia and the rate tables. One of the things, because Australia is a Commonwealth construct, every state has its own regulation. So if you operate between the states, it's actually very complicated. I know in the Indian context, setting up, because of some of my clients in the retail space, setting up a retail store has 40 approvals. So you can't expect people who are trying to keep their families going to go through that sort of opportunity. So the single window concept, the ability to leverage Aadhaar and the other concepts in order to streamline setting up. I think the way it's been characterized is people treat these small businesses as, they're not just large businesses, but just at a smaller size. Sure. They can't handle that level of complexity, right? So we almost need to have contextual-based risk policies, right, which basically recognize what could go wrong if something happens here, and maybe we don't need to put all of that in place. So the policy structures are absolutely important. I would say at both ends of the business, I would call out, 1, at the start of the business, and 2, the safe harbor clauses and the sandboxes that we create for failure. That doesn't create a moral hazard for people to take unnecessary risks. So if I were to design it, I would design it at those 2 ends as critical regulatory policies to put in place.
Final word to you, sir. Lots of ideas over here, lots of hopes certainly in Andhra Pradesh. How would you, in a sense, summarize the opportunities?
Now, I'm very happy to hear so many opinions and also how to plan further. I'm exploring some ideas with the audience also and friends also here. Safety net is a must. We have to create how to create that safety net. One is we are having an impression out of 10, 9 will fail. First of all, we have to make it out to successful, success rate is more. Yeah. That is number one. That is where we are working, Ratan Tata Innovation Hub. Now main center and 5 zones. Then we will take it last mile district, supporting infrastructure, MSME parks, every constituency, plug and play. Somebody is coming with idea, then they will start the industry. This type of exercise we are doing. Second one, P4, we are working a concept. Public-private partnership, we are building roads, airports, everything. Now we are adding one more concept, public-private people's partnership. There, it is our responsibility to empower. You are doing as an NGO in a big way. So many people are contributing. Even CSR is available. Common man, Sinha has rightly mentioned, people are not in a position to select to become entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs, we are all from middle class or below middle class. Over a period of time, we got an opportunity, we build our career, step by step. Now we are talking in Davos, we are teaching good governance and also so many creative activities. What I wanted to tell, successful persons, society has given us this status, why can't you pay back to the society? Adopt this type of families. Short term, medium term, long term, invest your time. What they need, they are not aware what is the right decision. Because of right time, they are unable to take decision. Suppose one person 10th class. Intermediate, he may not go. Then what parents will do? They will stop education. Then they will send him to the field work, labor. Then his life has gone. At that time, you can intervene for 3 years education. What type of education? Then you coach him. Then his life will be changed. Same thing, one entrepreneur, Sinha is an entrepreneur. Why can't he develop 100 or 200 MSMEs? Overall prospective, overall having potential. That is, once if you do, then they will compete with Sinha over a period of time. That is where I am thinking this type of activities we have to do. And ultimately Blue Dot, as you rightly mentioned, madam, last year International Women Day, I announced 1 lakh women entrepreneurs, micro or general entrepreneurs. We are completing now. This year I want to announce 5 lakhs, that means 500,000. Next year if I succeed, I can announce 1 million. People like you has to come there and inspire them, your success stories. This is where success will bring kick, then there will be more success. That is where I am doing this exercise. I am very happy all of you has given, even on the floor, you are having any doubts you can ask or you can give some ideas. We will adopt it, we will take to the